Greetings, peace and blessings. Happy Monday. I'm the Moon Mama. How are y'all doing today? Okay, well, today is Monday. How was your weekend? Did y'all have a good weekend? I had a restful weekend. I am like I'm really in a space of a lot of contemplation where I'm really trying to get clear about what my next steps are around business and things like that. So that takes time for me to really just be quiet. I also I watched Dune this weekend, which was interesting. I'm in a space that is unique for me where it's hard for me to watch Western movies right now because they're all so based in um, whiteness and the lead characters you know are white, and then the characters that are in submission to them are black, and all of that has deep psychological impact on us. And so I have to really be mindful of the films I'm taking in, because they just create irritation inside of me. And yeah, so the sun moved into Scorpio also. Let me see what someone says. I'm there with work versus life work. Yes. Um, yeah, so the sun moved into Scorpio, which is the constellation or the sign that governs our sensuality, our sexuality, the transformation, the life and death cycle. Um, the deeper meanings of thing, and really basically it's power. That's what Scorpio is about. It's about power and how we share power. Um, and yesterday, as I was doing some meditation, I realized that power in our human experience is just desire. That's all it is. It is, you know one of the things that is important for us to really recognize is learn is how we function. How do we actually function? You know what I mean? That's why I feel like the natal chart is like the instructions for how you function, how the energy within you functions. And when we start to realize and ask questions, because the culture, our conditioning in the conditioning, they say you should do this, and this is what women do, and this is what white people do, and this is what black people do, and this is what good people do, and this is what bad people do. All of those things are conditions that we then take in, that take over our desire. We start desiring based upon what the culture says, what the family says is desirable, and it might not be true to what it is that we really desire. So we find ourselves in jobs and in relationships and things like that, and we're unfulfilled. We're really not happy because we've just followed the rules, and we've not really done the work to cultivate our own energy. To cultivate our own energy, to honor who we really are, to honor our power, and how our power will. I'm sorry. Come on, get down. Thank you. How our power will best function, and how we actually want to share it, how we actually want to use it. It's like we get conditioned so early on that we follow the rules of the culture, even when we don't realize we're doing it. Even when we don't realize that we're doing things because this is what our mother wanted us to do. We're doing this because this is what like this is what the culture says is pretty. This, like, right now you see everybody looks the same, right? Because it's the conditioning that we are within that continues to usurp our desire, our power to create what it is that that's authentic to us. So with the today is a moon day, and the moon is in Gemini, and Gemini is the energy of our perceived reality. It's our thinking. It's what we speak into creation. And the sun has moved into Scorpio. And like I said, Scorpio is about desire. And one of the things you have to get really clear about is what it is that you really desire. And like I said, most of us are functioning in conditioning and, in the past, we're in reaction, right? Like we want to have more money because we remember when we were children and we didn't have enough money. And so we think money is the solution, right? Or we want to have this thing because you remember when you were a child. And it's just, the memory is not a mental memory. It's a feeling, right? It's really that we're responding and reacting to feelings that then or through our conditioning, our desire has been programmed. So we actually want to do the work to take that back. And that's what the astrology is. It's a map. Following the moon cycles and the season of equinoxes really helps us come back to our authenticity, to take off the conditions and the stories and the histories and the future fantasizing that's born out of, some sort of scarcity. We really want to be able to own ourselves. We want to own ourselves. We want to not be in reaction to stuff. And so that's why one of the things I'm really working on letting go of is the way I've been conditioned in this white world that has my energy being projected to whatever is white and good because it's in the conditioning. When I'm 53, I'm 53 and I am, I don't know how old you all are here, but when I was a little girl, all the TV shows about Black people were usually that they were poor or that there was just a lot of stress and striving in it. And that got programmed into my nervous system. And those stories came out of white people's minds. Those were their ideas about who Black people were, not mine. And so when we take that stuff on, it becomes the energy that which with we function. I cannot say that, right? The energy that we function in, and it programs our desire. And so my desire has been, sorry, my cats just be doing shit. My desire has been like trying to get away from it, trying to get away from poverty. But that's conditioning, right? So it's like really understanding that, as women, we've been conditioned. I need a man. I need a man. I need a man. And so then at that conditioning and, when I was young, all the magazines like Cosmetology and all the women's magazines were, what does your man want? And how to make your man happy and conditioning. All that's conditioning, right? Right. So who they wanted us to think they are. So the thing is that we've got to really start asking ourselves what and why in a deep way. And with the new moon, with the full moon that we just had in Aries, all this new energy came in and you can feel it in your body, like my hips, and I'm having to dance and move and twirl my hips. I just joined I've been kind of doing a bit of a morning dance class, but I just joined something else so that I could really work with my internal energy because I don't want to move into the same old patterns that I had been functioning in. You want to, what are you guys doing? I'm sorry, they just be trying to, okay, all right. So you don't want to, because you've already been conditioned, your brain, the way your emotions feel, all of those are just chemical reactions in the body. So you want to be sure that you are not responding to your chemical reactions in the same way, because then you'll just get to the same results. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your brain fires off, something feels it, and then you'll do the same. You'll just be in the same patterning over and over and over again. So this is uncomfortable. This is not fun because you have to go in opposition to your old ways of being in order to get new results. And the thing that the astrology offers, the astrology tells you what the universe is doing. So you don't have to work upstream. So you don't have to fight so much for it. The astrology says the universe just had a full moon in Aries, which means that we're at a beginning again. That means we're in new energy. The sun is in Scorpio. That means power is starting. We're going to be seeding the energy for power because the sun is in Scorpio. That can look like love relationships, but it's really about power. If we work with these energies unconditioned and not about the external world yet, remember I said come back to the feminine, the internal, the feminine energy is what's coming alive right now. So you want to come inside to unconditioned energy. You don't want to give it something to do just yet. You want to own it. You want to, you know what I mean? If you have a lot of money, you want to look at all the money you have. You want to be like, okay, how much do I actually fucking have? And then assess what is here, assess what your energy is, and then begin to take actions in ways that you actually desire and not in ways that we've been conditioned and prone and reaction to and driven by because of our addictions and our fears and our lack and scarcity, because we're in this made up world that is called America, that is all conditioned through what white men actually see as valuable. We might not even value the shit that they value, right? Like, I'm always so tickled when I see people being like, the first black person to die. What is that? Like, how is, like, because we're the first black person in a white world? Because you're not the first black person. It's, you know what I mean? It's such an interesting thing because it's all a made up thing. So I can't wait for this course on the return of the feminine energy. All right, somebody said, right. So it is really important that we look at what we desire and truly want from a perspective of, getting to what's authentic. And let me tell you, that requires deep honesty, like deep honesty, like really tell yourself the truth, right? Because you'll see that you will get caught up in things that you really don't want. You'll get, like, how many times have you, like, I used to really want to have when I saw Oprah, I was like, oh my God, I want a television show. I want a television show. I really wanted a television show. And then, I started really working my way in that direction and got to a place where I had a company that was producing a YouTube show for me. And I remember being there, and they were, all the cameras, the people, the makeup artists, my guests, like, it was happening. And I was there, and I was like, I don't really want this. This is not really what I want. Like, I thought this was what I wanted, but this is not what I wanted. But I saw it in Oprah, so I thought that's what I wanted because that looked like black woman success. And when I got in that space, it wasn't really my frequency. And I realized I didn't want it because what I want to do is really be in a new conversation, in deep truth and transparency. And what happens is when we get in these environments where you have to, meet the money and the numbers and all that sort of stuff, then you have to conform to something else that is less authentic. And I realized that is what I would have had to been willing to do. And that would not have really worked for me. And so then this platform came and it's like, oh, now I can do this my way, right? So it's important for us to really be honest what our deep desires are, even if we don't know how, because something will come to life that will allow you to express your deep desire. It might not even, there was no Instagram when I was in my 20s. When I really thought I really wanted a television show, right? And the people that I know, because I'm in Los Angeles, that went along and did TV shows, they had to give up their personalities. They had to give up the truth of who they were to sell Tide, because it's all about money and you can't be true to yourself. So it's important for us to really get clear about our true desires without any thought about how it's going to come into existence. Okay, so I have talked a lot, and the moon is in Gemini, and that's why I'm talking so much, because I have a Gemini moon. So the moon is in Gemini, and what we want to do while the moon is in Gemini is we really want to consider what it is that we want, our perceived reality, right? And so right now, I think the best thing to do is just look at the world that you're in already. Look at the world that you're in already. And take responsibility for all of it, what you like and what you don't like, because you created it. All of this is your perceived reality. All of what you have around you, the people, that's your perceived reality currently as it is. Everybody you love, everybody you can't stand, it's all you. And so with this Gemini energy, because the Gemini energy, it's important right now for us, like I said, to really get clear about what we desire. So you don't want to start trying to project something or thinking about what you want, because you don't know what you want yet. Not really, you don't. Maybe some of us do. I don't want to treat us like we're children. I know we're grown-ass people here. But most of us really just being a question of what it is you want. Because if you start trying to project something that you don't want in this Gemini energy is duality, and you will get the opposite of what you want, right? So you want to get clear about if you're authentic or not. Gemini, like sometimes I really try to work with moving energy and moving the weather. And I can do it at the beach sometimes, but because I have a Gemini moon, I have to be really clear and in deep acceptance of things. And I was at the beach one time and the wind was blowing, and I really wanted the wind to stop blowing. And I kept just practicing, like, what language, because Gemini is about spoken word and perceived reality. And I kept resisting it, and the wind just kept blowing harder and harder and harder until finally people just started getting up, leaving the beach, and so did I. And so it's important for us to understand the Gemini energy requires that you understand duplicity, and that you really are authentic, and that you are at peace with what is. That's a really important aspect of all of this energy right now, is to be at peace, to be able to be willing to I'll take whatever I get. It doesn't matter. I got this, that kind of thing. Like if it's good, I got that. If it's bad, so that you're not creating duality. The duality part is the challenge, right? So with the Gemini energy right now, just look at the reality you've created and don't be at odds with it. Find ways to be at peace with the reality you've created. And if you cannot, if you feel in your body angst and things like that, reach out to me and you can book a session, and I'll look at your chart and give you some remedies, some herbs and things to help you move into deeper acceptance of what is, because this energy is going to start really getting stronger. And what happens is, if we are not clear about our creations and our energy and our desire, then that energy is used anyway, and then we create our fears and our worries. And so it's really important for us to learn how to take responsibility. All right, peace and blessings, you all. I love you guys so much. Let me see if there's anything I need to, because when I close it, I can't access you guys' comments anymore, as if it wasn't the cowboys and the cowgirls. Okay, let's see if I saw some things I want to read. I'm in the same space with you, Monique. I feel the feeling so strongly to divest from the emotional investments of whiteness. Yes, absolutely. We are working it through. From all these systems, actually. Absolutely. I can't wait for the course on the return of the feminine energy. I'm doing it. Okay. I love this lady. Thank you. I love you too. I thought I was the only one. The fuck, we don't value any of what they think is value. Yes. Like, why do we care so much about what they think? Because it's conditioned. We care so much about what they think because it's in our cells. Because if you go watch, like I'm telling you, I've studied this stuff. If anybody has the courage, go watch 12 Years a Slave. And if you see how our ancestors were tortured. And so when you can't, just imagine if you're in a house where somebody is abusive and everything you do, their energy is on you and abusing you and torturing you. And this happens for hundreds and hundreds of years. And it happens to not just you, but the generations of your children and grandchildren. So it becomes a part of ourselves. So we're deeply programmed to give a fuck about what white people think in this system. It's in us. We are the chart. Go watch The Matrix so you can see The Matrix and how everybody was plugged in. We're plugged into this motherfucker, okay? And we're trying to take the plugs off. So that's why we care so much. It's not a mistake that we care so much. Do you have any advice for folks who are still trying to figure out what their true desires are? Yes, come get a reading from me, a natal chart reading. Yes, I've been listening to my gut and consciously considering everything I see and trying to get with the feelings of reaching for the polarity. Yes, exactly. That's right. That's right. Go read the Kabbalion. That's a good one. And now is the time we can cleanse that energetic field. Absolutely. I am upset that I have been mandated to get a vaccine by December 8th. When is this going to stop? Let me tell you something. Why are you upset? Why are you upset? Go be with what's going on with you. Come read it. Come get a reading from me and let's have a conversation. Get clear about why you're upset. Get clear about what you're not trying to give up. Why are you holding on? Like really, that's because we're living in a time when the old is dying away. And so for people that are trying to, that if the universe is giving you reasons, is giving you information to push you out of that old reality, you better pay attention. You better pay attention and listen. That's it. You know what I mean? It's over. It's over. So then start to consider what it is really going on inside of you so that you can actually get clear about where you need to go. Because, yeah. Thank you for all that you share. Don't be upset. Let that shit go. People do have a process, so I don't want to be flippant about your process because I understand we've all been conditioned in that system. So it's hard to let go of. We don't know. We don't see what else is possible. But I want to let you know that there's something else possible. You will have to work. You will have to detox your mind and get away from that old way of being. But it is like I used to work and but I literally did the work and now that's just not, it doesn't even occur to me anymore. And I want you to know that the universe is fucking alive and what's going on right now, people who are wanting to leave that system, the universe is creating the pathways for us to get there. Like there is a force that is supporting us right now. I went and watched the Star Wars yesterday, the first one. Let me just say the force is motherfucking with us, okay? But you gotta get your mind right so that you can tap in, and it feels crazy and mystical, but that's done. That's collapsing. I'm on my way to a new state after I break up. I'm still packing up to go to depart for 2 weeks. All right, y'all. I love y'all so very much. Peace and blessings. I pray that everybody has a really beautiful day. That the moon is void today, so it's very internal, communications and things like that might not go well today at all, but that's okay. Just be with your perceptions. So if things don't work out, like look at the story you're telling about stuff, right? Oh, somebody did that. Right? Be with your perceptions, watch your preferences, watch your opinions, all that sort of stuff, because that's building your reality. I love this stuff so much. It's so good. We're so magical. We're so fucking magical if we allow ourselves to be. All right. Peace and blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.